So there are ICM related transaction codes. Okay. So SMICM is the one of the ICM related. So Internet Communication Manager Monitoring. So which means the requests which are coming to inside of the system, coming out, it will be recorded here in the SMICM transaction code. In SMICM transaction code. So Internet Communication Monitor. So here in SMICM, we can see the status of the our ICM. So nowadays, what we are doing, we are logging with the browser, right? We are logging with the SAP login pad. In SAP login pad, we are logging into the system, and we are logging to the system, and we are monitoring the our systems and everything we are monitoring. But not only here, few people they will log in through browser as well. Through browser also, we will log in. Through browser also, we will log into our system. So that time while you are logging to browser, that time the ICM, the Internet Communication Manager, will take your request. Through GUI, when you are logging, how your dialog work process are taking a request. When you are connecting through, when you are connecting through browser, that time your ICM will take care of your browser request. ICM will take care of the browser request and everything. I'm logging to. Okay, so it's connected. So go to the SMICM transaction code. In SMICM, here we can monitor ICM is running or not. So status. So here you can, if you want to increase the trace levels, here all HTTP communications, everything will be tracked here. All HTTP communications. So everything will be tracked. Here, what we have to check as a daily basis, what we have to check, what work we have to check the ICM status and port number services. If you go to and services, here we need to check the ports. HTTPS ports should be active status. HTTPS ports should be active status. So those things we have to monitor here. So here ports are not there, so we need to configure the ports here. We need to create the ports here. So HTTP ports and HTTP ports we have to configure here. So then HTTPS also. So why? Because this HTTP, sometimes we will log in through HTTP, sometimes we will log in through HTTPS, right? So those things, so we have to configure it here. Those things we have to configure it here. So I have configured here HTTP, HTTPS ports. The ports is normally, so it depends. It depends upon the company what the port they have to take it. That port they can define. But for here, normally 80443. 80 for the HTTP, 443 is for the HTTPS. These are the SAP suggested port numbers. So HTTP, you can put like 80. So HTTPS, you can put like 443. So these are the two things we can monitor it. These are the two things we can put for. So these are the two things we can put it. So in SMICM, we need so 80 and 443. These are the two transaction codes we required. Two transaction codes, sorry, two port numbers we have to maintain it. 80 instance number, 80 instance number, and 443 instance number. So any number you can put it out, but it should starts with the 80 and 443. Why? Because when we are connecting through browser, we have to connect through host name colon port number. Then only it will connect to this system. Okay. So this is the way we have to monitor. We have to monitor this SMICM services. The port numbers we have to monitor it. Plus, additionally, we need to monitor the ICM is running or not. These two things we have to monitor it. So ICM status and services. Services means HTTP, HTTPS ports we have to monitor it. HTTP, HTTPS ports we have to monitor it. Okay, these two things we have to do it from here. So what is the use of this SMICM means to handle the internet based request or to handle the browser-based request, browser-based. Sometimes we are opening some irtcd.com, iccibank.com, right? That is the browser request. So the browser request will be handled. That time, the ports and ICM should be up and running. Then only users can log into the systems, right? So here, how can we log in? They can log in. So here in SMICM, we can do these things. In SICF, this is for the services activation, services activation, services activation. To activate the services, any services, we have to use the SICF, SICF, we have to use it. To activate any service, we have to use this SICF service, we have to use it, right? So see here. Service means sub-services. Suppose if I talk about, okay, let me take an example here. Go to SICF. This is for the service activation. Suppose some people, they want to open WebGUI. WebGUI is the one of the service available in the system. Okay. So WebGUI is the service available in the system. They will open everything from the browser. So if they want to connect to the one service, they can open it. They can open the WebGUI transaction code, means GUI, SAP GUI, they can open from the system. So they can log in through this browser. See, so host name, port number, and these are the sub services. So these services we have to activate from the SICF transaction code, SICF transaction codes, we have to activate it. Suppose example, if you see, suppose if you take the irctc.com, so .com co.in, okay, fine. After that in the URL, we will get the nget. Under the nget, we have the train search. So that, right, these are the sub services. This is the main service. Under the main service, we have the sub service, right? This main we have to activate in the SICF, in the respective IRCTC server. We have to go in their SICF transaction code. We have to just put the nget service name. We have to put it here. Just click on the apply. Then we have to activate it. Click on the apply and we have to activate it. We have to activate the services. We have to activate the services. Then, so then only we will get this screen. Then only we are getting this screen, right? Then only we are getting this screen. We will get this screen. So nget/train set screen, we will get it. Otherwise, what happens when you are trying to open this one, you will get the message like internet 500 internal server error. Sometimes you will get, right, 500 internal server error, and the respective service is not available. So like that, you will get it out. So now we got the screen, right? Now we got the WebGUI screen. For WebGUI screen, if you want to get the WebGUI screen, we need to activate these services, we have to activate it in the SICF, this path, the service we have to activate it. So that you don't need the GUI as well. Just you can open the URL from the browser. Through browser, you can open it. Through browser, you can open it. Then you can log into our SAP system as well. Through browser, you can open. You can log into our SAP system as well. You can log in as well. See, I connected here. I have opened the ECP. Now I can enter the transaction codes and everything here. Why I need SAP GUI here, right? SAP login pad. Why I need to install here? Through browser, I can able to open my screens and everything, right? My SAP system, I'm able to open. I can enter the transaction codes. I can monitor the system and everything. So browser is simple, right? So nowadays in your mobile also we have the browsers, right? So through browser also we can open all these things and everything. We can open it, right? So that's the reason. That is the reason. So we have this concept. That is the reason we have this browser concept they have mentioned. Okay. Through browser, you connected to your SAP systems. So how you connected means here two things. One is the ICM should be up and running. Then secondly, ICM is up and running. Secondly, the service should be active here. The service should be active here. If you want to connect any BW, so the BW service should be active. If you want to connect to any BEX analysis client, so anything, the service should be active status here. So then only we can connect it. Suppose if you want to upload any document, this HRMS attached, the service should be active status. See here, I'm activating this service. So the next time, whenever you want to just test it, then you will get the screen here. So browser, it will open it, then you will get the screen. So you can just note down this URL. Then every day you can just open the SAP system from this URL. Okay. So like that, we can open it, everything, whatever the, suppose not only SAP standard one, custom also, custom screens as well. Custom screens means these are the custom services also we can develop it. We means our development team, they will develop the custom screens, and they will install and they will use it, this one, right? So NGET, this is a government normally defined this one. So we can not only this one. So if you go to the set screen or some other screens, we will get the, suppose they want to buses, immediately that will go to the bus slash home. It will go into the different status again, right? So suppose tourist packages, it is going to the again, so tourist packages underscore search. So the services are changing. The services are changing. Depends upon the navigation. Depends upon the service you are searching. That will change it. So here also we can change it. Here also that will be changed. That will be changed. So we can activate the services. Then we can use that services to open it. We can use that services to open it. Right. So like that we can open the services. So what happens? What happens if the service is not working? So let's say here web GUI. So we will take the example of the web GUI. I'm going to deactivate the service here. Deactivate the services. Okay. I have deactivated the services here. Now let's try to, this is the one, right? Let's try to fish around. Now we will get the, so service cannot be reached, right? In the browser, we are getting the message like the service cannot be reached. The service cannot be reached, which means the service is not available. The service is not available. Normally, sometimes when you open any one of the government sites or so some other sites, you will get the messages, right? 500 internal server error, or service is down, service cannot be reached. Sometimes we will get this type of errors, right? Why? Because here in the system, in the server itself, the service is deactivated by someone. So you need to activate this one. If you activate, then it will be available again. It will be available again. So see here, now it is again available here. So why means the service is deactivated. So even though the service is deactivated, if you go and deactivate the SMICM, then you cannot access it. So SMICM also one of the service. SMICM also here, if you go ahead and if you stop SMICM, go to the services, not the services, go to the administration, SICM, exit soft or exit hard shutdown, you can perform it. Hard shutdown means immediately it will stop it. Exit soft shutdown means until open connections will close, then it will stop it. First, it will close all the open connections. What are the users are logged in? Wait for until then it will stop it. So hard shutdown means immediately it will shut down the SMICM. SMICM will be stopped immediately. The ICM is stopped, it cannot handle the browser-based request, right? So that's why. So these two are very, very important. SMICM and SICF transaction, SICF for the service activations. So you need to remember all these transaction codes. Okay, all these transaction codes you need to remember it. Apart from that, we have some other transaction codes as well. Let's discuss. Why? Because this is giving the error, right? So this is taking time till it is. So I think we need to restart or something. We have to do that one. So let's see. Otherwise, let me try this one more time. Yeah, nothing is there. You have one SAP service that is already started here. One server already started 100. got invalid status from the SSL layer. SSL read. Just I'm using the sharing option, so that it can be shared or not. Okay, let's leave it out. So let's talk about the our class to avoid time. Okay, so the next one we discussed about the SM02, SM01, all these transaction codes, right? And also some workflows related SW. So U3, this is the workflow managing. So workflow for the ECC systems, the workflow should be active. SWU3. This is one of the so transaction code for the workflow activation. Workflow. So automatic workflow customization. Just to remember, so workflow activation, workflow customization. Just you can remember the transaction codes. Here, the workflow environment should be active. Here, all these things are should be active, workflow related. Just remember the transaction code. Here we should activate this all these workflows and everything. It should active status. So normal in the real time, they will activate so all these workflows and everything, they will activate, they will configure so RFC destinations, right? RFC destinations and everything, they will do that one. They will create it. Right. So here it is asking the user ID and the password. The workflow. Then so edit the active versions, execute automatic versions. So all these things should be active status only as part of the daily monitoring or not the daily monitoring. So we have to check, we have to activate this one. We have to activate this one. All these things we have to activate it. We should check it out. Just remember the transaction code is for workflow. So sometimes why when they are using this workflow means, so some cases, some organizations, so there is a workflow mechanism. The first level approval, second level approvals, timesheet. Suppose or any claims, timesheets. So once the first level approval is completed, it will go to automatically go to the second level approvals. So that time, so this approval, this workflow will be useful for them. Workflow is useful them. So that's why we will use this workflow. We will use the workflow. This workflow will be used, right? So that's why we have to use this workflow. Just remember the SWU3. Normally, only few companies they will use it. Only the first one, edit the workflow runtime environment, they will use it. So remaining they won't use it. Okay, just remember this workflow mechanism. Just you can use it. So where can we activate the workflow and check it? It means you can just remember the transaction code SWU3. SWU3 is the transaction code. Okay, so apart from that workflow, there is a business functions activations. Okay, business functions activations. So the business function activations we have to perform it, right? So that is called the SW. Let me check. There is a transaction code. This is also rare cases we'll use it, but we will use this time to discuss some other explore more transaction codes as well. SAP business functions activation. Some SFW5, I guess. Yes, right. You can say SFW5. This is the transaction codes we have to use it. SFW5. SAP business functions and activations. So these business functions we have to suppose in our system, if we want to some additional functionalities in our system, we want to additional functionalities. That time we will use this business functions activations. Okay, normally few people they don't know, but just you guys remember this transaction codes. One is the workflow customization. We have to use it SWU3 and SW. So this one, this transaction code will be useful for so business functions activation, Sometimes they will ask how to activate the business functions. Simply can tell SFW5 is the transaction code. There you can activate the business functions. Can activate the business functions. So here if you have to go to the here, suppose if they want to some web service monitoring related services, they want to activate it. Some HR related services, they want to activate it. Then select it, just right click and activate. Okay, activate the business functions. We have to activate it. So like that, we have to activate the whatever the function, the functional team they will provide you, they will ask you. So to activate it, sometimes they will only do the activation. So they will ask you, then that time you have to come to here, then you have to activate the business function. You have to activate the changes here. Okay, invalid field see, there is a function we have to enable it. So that one we have to activate it. That type of activity we have to perform in the system, right? So see here. So this business functions we have to activate it. Just remember the how to activate the business function means using the SFW5 is the transaction code for the business function activation. So workflow SWU3 is the transaction code. Services we can activate the SICF. So ICM SMICM is the transaction code for the ICM activation, right? So the next one, so what left we have still in the transaction code perspective, what left? So transport administration we are discussing. Apart from the transport administration, that we will continue because we have to prepare the systems. The systems we have to prepare it. Apart from that, what we left? Any T code which we have not discussed, do you think?
Sir, on that day, I asked you about the profiles and roles here.
Okay, SWU3, that is the user management. That will come. That's not, don't worry about that. User management, security, R3 security. Oh. That will come. Okay. Once the TMS completed, so then we will discuss about the next topic is the R3 security. That we will discuss it as part of the security. So, or if we want that, we will also discuss that one. I'm just checking what we left till now. So other topics I'm checking. Not only topics, so transaction codes, small transaction codes. Apart from these three and work process related profiles, transported client copies, and what we left. That is what I'm discussing. Okay, I will cross check everything. Then we'll discuss those transaction codes as well, only useful transaction codes. So rare cases they will use this transaction codes. Okay, but daily they will use this transaction codes, SMICM and SICF. Okay, so these are the very important. Remember, just least you can remember the usage of the transaction codes. Sometimes they will ask you how to activate the business functions in SAP system, SFW5. How to check the workflow is active or not, where to check it out, SWU3. So where to activate the services, SICF is the transaction code there. We can activate the services and everything, right? This is the things we have discussed. Apart from that, so what we left as, you know, right? SBWP is the SAP business workplace for the sending the messages or monitoring the message in the systems and everything. We can check it out. The calendars. So all these things we can check from here. All these things we can check it out from here, right? The calendars. So calendars and the meetings, appointment creations. So all these things we can do it from here. So apart from that, business workplace. So SOST we discussed, and SOIN, Scott, all these things we discussed. SMQ1, SMQ2, SM58. So these things we discussed, right? Already we discussed. So SM59 for the SM58 transactional RFs is Q1, Q2, QR, QS, right? These are the things we discussed. So the next one, what left we have still? Yes, W20. Yeah, you can just remember these two transaction codes as well. Okay, normally functional team they will perform it, but this also required W20, W21 transaction codes. W20, W21 transaction codes. So W20 partner profiles, not our SAP profiles, partner profiles. So partner profiles means, suppose you are sending the data to other systems, right? You are sending the data to some other systems, from ECC to other systems. So those systems related data we have to maintain here. Those systems related data we have to maintain that. Their profile we have to create it for here. So we have to create their profile, we have to create it. Suppose we are sending the data to, suppose like BWP, then BWP system related data we have to maintain here. BWP related data we have to maintain here. That the BWP related data, that RFC destinations we have to maintain it. All the details we have to maintain from here. So then only so invalid partner. Then only the data will go from here to, then only data will go from our SAP system to, and their BW systems or their CRM data flow will happen. Because of here, the partner profile should be exist here. The partner profiles we have to create it. The partner profiles we have to create it here. The partner profiles we have to create it from here. Okay. So this is the things we have to do that work. That is the thing we have to do that work. So the partner. So that is for the W20, right? W21. This is for the ports in IDOC processing. The ports here we have to create it. So normally IDOC means the intermediate data, like data they will keep into the one file that is called the IDOC. So that IDOCs, suppose if you want to send the IDOCs from, normally IDOCs will generate in the ECC system only. Why? Because ECC is the transactional system. You want to send this IDOCs to the PI, you want to send this IDOCs to the your BW system, that time the configuration here we have to create it. The configuration we have to create it. We have to create from, so in this system we have to create it. The configuration we have to create it. So the configurations we have to create it here, right? So that's why the IDOCs number, IDOC we have to provide it here. IDOC number. So suppose like ABCD. So that so ports we have to provide it here. The ports we have to provide it here. So the destination we have to choose it, and which destination you want to send it. So those things we have to send it from here. That RFCs we have to create it. Then only the data will come inside of the system, will go from SAP to other systems, it will go here, right? So that's why the creation, the configuration we have to perform it, right? This is the ports. One W20, W21. It's very important. W20 is for the partner profiles, and W20 even is for the IDOC ports. Ports in the IDOC. IDOC ports we have to create it. IDOC ports. Okay, through this ports data will go. Okay, these two transaction ports are also very important. You can remember these two transaction ports. So apart from that, what left? So I think that's it for today. Okay, so Monday we'll continue with our transport administration. Without any disturbances, we will continue our transport administration. Then followed by user administration, some other topics we will discuss. Okay, so for now, if you want to reinstall, you can install it. So don't try with this user, your own users. You can use these users. So I will provide you the user names here. So like either S4F ADM you can use this one directly. Log in with this S4F ADM. So Feb, I guess Feb 2023, or you can use this administrator user as well. Administrator user TRATOR. So don't log in with your user for installation. Then try with this password London 2023 or 22, I guess. Yes. Then ECP ADM. These are the administrator users. Then you can try with London 2023. Right. So these users and passwords you can try. So then definitely the installation will work. It won't ask any these things and everything. Okay. So just you can try with this one. You can try. Why? Because so it is currently it is not responding status. You can try. You can try to. You can shut down. You can use the hard shutdown here. Okay. You can try. You can try to. You can try again. Try to do the installation again. If not working, let me know by end of today. I will do from my side. Okay. Is it okay?